So here's a map of the San Antonio Missions. The Riverwalk and the Alamo is up here in downtown. And then there's Mission Concepcion, Mission San Jose, which is where we are right now, Mission San Juan. So there's a few different locations. Oh, and Mission Espada. And it's all translated in Spanish as well. Here's a map of Mission San Jose in English and Spanish, and a little model of it. There's a whole outer path you can walk as well. This is the food storage room where they store the rations for the missionaries. The oldest mill in Texas, restored by the National Society of the Colonial Dames of America in the state of Texas, commemorating the centennial of Texas independence. And this was the old water building. And the grist mill. So this part's the grist mill for the wheat flour, and the water was on the other side. This is a post-colonial house constructed in the 1800s. And there's a big loop path for you to walk around and see everything here. So that's what we're gonna do. It's a religious community and an economic enterprise. This community was reestablished here in 1731 from a location in East Texas. And just like the other mission, it has the Spanish translation as well. And here's a 3D model of Mission San Juan. Very neat. And then this was the housing for the priests and friars that led the mission. Is this part right here. There's some different things here. Oh, they have a snake skin.
There's pictures of each one of them in here. That's why I like it.
The dried prickly pear cactus.
It talks about all of them. That's why I'll go back.
And if you stamp your national passport book like I do, your national park passport, they have some different stamps here as well. And at the main visitor center, they have all the stamps that all of the different missions have. So here are the 2 stamps for the historic trail in the Missions National Historic Park. And then at the visitor center, we also got the National Underground Railroad, the Junior Ranger, and Rancho de las Cabras. And then they also have the Espada Aqueduct, which we're going to next, and then a stamp of each of the churches, which is very cool. And this building right here says private residence, and everything is all roped off, so that's not something you can go in and see. But that's the San Juan mission. Just a nice little walk. In all of the missions, you can either drive to by car, or there are bike rentals at the main visitor center at the Mission San Jose, where you can rent bikes and you can bike. And it's not too far for a bike ride either. If we had more time, we would have rented bikes, but today we're just driving. Alright, now we made our way down to Mission Espada. It was about not even a 5-minute drive from Mission San Juan. There's Mission Espada. And just like all the missions, they have a brief history on the sign, and then they also have a map of all of the missions as well. Feel free to pause the video and read if you'd like. So yesterday we saw the Alamo up there. We didn't do Mission Concepcion yet, but at Mission San Jose is the main visitor center with all the stamps that I was talking about and the big gift shop and everything. And then after that, we went down to San Juan, and now we're currently down here. And I'm assuming they all have their own little 3D model, which is nice. But here's a look when you first come in. And this one has a path we're going to walk around as well. And they do have additional like hiking trails and walking trails and things like that. But we're on a little bit of a time crunch to get to all of them by 5 o'clock, so we're just doing the minimum today. This mission also has a little stamping center where you can get all of your cancellation stamps for your passport and different language brochures in different languages. So all the parks have that as well. That's cool. I've always heard about those, but I've never actually seen one in person. Oh. Something else to mention is that each of the sites so far have had restrooms and water fountains and refillable water stations as well. So this building right here was actually a school. This is where the school was. And you still see some of the green from where the school was as well. And this is the look of the church at Mission Espada. It's a cross. It's very cool. And it looks like this church you can go inside of as well. So I have to check it out. And now we made it to the Espada Aqueduct, which is about another mile down the road. Some history about it in English and Spanish. Let's go check it out. Part of the reason we came down here too as well is because this is one of the stamps you can get, one of the additional cancellations you can get in the back of your national passport book. It's very peaceful, very, very nice. And we have arrived at the last mission we need to visit today, Mission Concepcion. And as the other missions have, here is the 3D model. So this park is open sunrise to sunset daily. And there's a map. So now we made it all the way back up over there. This one's huge compared to some of the other ones we've seen. San Jose was a big one, and this is a big one as well. So something we were wondering is if these churches still hold mass and hold services, and it looks like they do. They have some upcoming events because they're preserved so beautifully. So they definitely still do get used.
It's a treasure to listen to if you have time.
Okay, thank you.
As UNESCO visited the 5 missions here and the Spanish Hydrodox 7 years ago, they were astonished to see how well preserved all 5 missions are here. San Antonio is a very historical city. We're over 300 years old. We have very strict regulations that we do not restore anything in the 5 missions here. We can rebuild, we can repaint, we can do all kinds of things. Well, why would we want to do that? Otherwise, the 5 missions will lose their authenticity. Missions in California, Arizona, New Mexico.
Minute. All right, go ahead, keep going. Here we go. You're fine.
So the inside of the church just closed at 5 o'clock, but you can still walk around the grounds and go on the walking paths until sunset.
Hi,
Michael.
sorry, but we are